Fantasy. It's an ever-growing genre that much of the younger generation has come to love. We use this as an escape from reality, asking ourselves what it would be like to talk to orcs, elves, and other absurd creatures while editing and rewriting the laws of physics themselves. Join me on my world of fantasy. Before we start, there are a couple things that we have to go through that's different from vanilla Minecraft. Water, temperature, and skills. There will be more that we have to go through, but this is what you need to know so I can hold your short attention span. Water is just basically another food bar to manage, but we need to drink out of glass bottles at the start so, we don't dehydrate. Temperature is something that we turn off later, but different biomes have different set temperatures, and we decided to turn them off because even during nighttime in the deserts, you'd still start burning. When it was raining, you'd still start burning. So we decided to turn them off. And finally, the skill tree. Every weapon, armor, and tool has its own skill requirement to use. The iron armor has a defensive requirement of 8, and the iron sword has a strength requirement of 14. There's also an agility tree and a mining tree, but that's the very basics of the mod. Oh, and you can't mine any wood with your hands, you need a hatchet. And my friends join a world and met with a really laggy introduction screen with a voice that's fancy as hell. Feels like it was on its deathbed, but I've never seen something do that before. But we're met with a talking dragon who gives us a choice: easy, medium, or hard. Being the little bitch I am, we choose easy mode and skip the tutorial because I'd rather be caught dead than doing an optional tutorial. As we fall from the sky, we see a huge tower and land right in the middle of a deep and dense forest with a small house under our feet. Me and Sade tell each other how much we hate how we walk. Like, really, what the fuck is this? After seeing a couple spawners, we decide that maybe this isn't the best place to be right now and loot as much as possible before we're forced to cross the river for safety and meet up with Cherry, the last of our trio. Now, as I briefly mentioned before, you can't mine wood with your bare hands.
So, Wolf, how are you supposed to mine your wood?
Well, thank you, viewer, for asking. You need to get flint, break it on stone, or in our case, a seashell, get flint shards. Then you need to punch leaves to get sticks so you can make a flint dagger. With a flint dagger, you can get grass, and grass can make rope, and there you can make a flint hatchet, where you can mine your first blocks of wood. With our axe, we jump a monkey and try to rob Cherry's grave to no avail. I swear I don't do it on purpose. I finally make our first crafting table, make a wooden pickaxe, and learn the hard way that a crafting table is, in fact, wood. With the utter realization that I'm too low of a skill level to use a wooden pickaxe, hope sets with the sun on the horizon. With our hope of survival quickly fainting, I scour my inventory only to see a divine prophecy. You will only see your own reflection in this scroll. Even though I look at it not knowing at all what it means, because I'm a dumbass, it instills the drive to keep moving between me, Saint, and Cherry. And as we look into the ocean and see a pirate ship, I make a shameless Pirates of the Caribbean reference.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen. So it would seem.
And as punishment, we turn back around to see death itself. This is the only reason why this mod is so difficult, because look at that. Look! And after figuring out Saint somehow has 2 beds on him, we finally get a better goal than gaining XP. Get a 3rd bed. As dehydration starts to set in, we're forced to box mobs for some XP. This is also a great time to explain the body health mechanic too. When you take enough damage on a certain limb, like one of your arms, you get reduced damage and mining fatigue. When you take too much damage on your legs, you get slowness. However, if your head goes red, you become blind, and if it goes gray, well, you're dead. Our goals expand once more, to make as much flint hatchets as possible, to beat up mobs, to get XP so we can finally use our wooden pickaxes. But I break as much gravel as possible and die of dehydration. Our first of many deaths. but we spawn with a recovery compass which allows you to find your gravestone and make your way back to one of my friends. On my way, I found a warp stone. Think of them almost as fast travel points. I proceed to activate it and name it the first thing that comes to mind. Yes. Then continue onwards. I find my friends as the sun starts to rise through the rainy clouds. A man once told me that when the sun peeks out, it means the devil is meeting his wife. In a land of opportunity, anyone can find true happiness. I run into a genie who doesn't have a lamp, and he rushes towards me with harmful intent. I scale a tree, forgetting genies could fly, and quickly get knocked out, breaking my legs. I retreat to my friends and jump into the water for safety, valiantly leaving my friends behind to die. Luckily, we all escape. I break some flint on my stone and spend the last of my dagger harvesting some grass. I make the hatchets and make my way to Cherry. However, I was a tad too late as he perishes in front of me from dehydration. I used the hatchets myself to kill some mobs and finally get my first level up in mining. I go back for some more and get my ass ate by whatever the fuck that is. Some anglerfish or something. With the levels for my death, Cherry reached mining level 3, finally being able to use the wooden pickaxe. To catch up, I box a crocodile like your local Florida man and get myself to mining level 3, mining my first pieces of cobblestone. As I show how big my sword is to Cherry, I get distracted by the walking tree and bugs. He makes a furnace and gets our first glasses of bottle so we can finally drink. And as we go to the ocean to drink salt water, I see a sea dragon? Thank God we're not going that way. So as we make some boats and hop into the ocean to escape the land creatures, we drive past many places, like an enemy encampment, a couple of pirate ships, and we take some sugarcane for the future. We find this trader with another wavestone and name this one Mamma Mia, because from this angle he reminded me of a certain Italian plumber. Looking back at it, he definitely did not look like Mario. We look at the trades that this Italian man gives. Kinda garbage, not gonna lie. We raid this poor man's home and see an omen of what's to come. We didn't notice it then, but 3 zombies fill the exact spots we were just sitting, looking up at us, hopeless, their life in our hands. We beat them to death with our bare hands, showing them mercy from the sun that's on the horizon, as we lose Saint due to the hour of the day. I approach the peacock and look into the sun as a new day rises. We decide to hole up into the Italian man's home, and I finally upgrade my strength to level 2 and start boxing another alligator. I get my level up to 3 so I can finally use my dirt sword. We hole up here for a while. I make a fishing rod to get some renewable food, and I fish until the night, dreaming of a life beyond this pain, wondering and pondering the divine prophecy. And we turn in for the night. And you should too, viewer. Thank you so much for watching. Sleep tight.